So, good afternoon, dear professors and students. Welcome everyone. Today is a great day for the Department of English Language and Literature. Students are about to start attending their qualification course. We wish good luck for all graduates. Now, let's turn to our first graduate from group 405, Rajapova Oğulay, and the same of her dissertation paper, Prose of English Writers as a Source of Adjectives Comparative Study. And her scientific advisor is docent, Doctor of Philosophy, Kristina Danilke.
Good afternoon, dear teacher and dear students. Today, I will speak about prose. Prose is a form of written or spoken language that follows the natural flow of speech. Uses a language, ordinary grammatical structures, or follows the conventions of formal academic writing. The word prose first appears in English in the 14th century. It comes from Latin expression prose, oratio. Literary meaning is straightforward or direct speech. We use prose with commonly used in newspaper, magazines, encyclopedias, broadcasting, and film or other types of communications. Prose and poetry. What's the difference between prose and poetry? Prose continuous state of writing and uses sentences and paragraphs. Sounds similar to ordinary speech or writing. May or may not be creative or. What about poetry? Poetry uses lines and stanzas. Sounds special or more artistic than normal speech. Has a main artistic purpose to share something personal. Prose types. There are some kind of prose types: fiction, historic fiction, non-fiction, reality fiction, science fiction, mystery, fiction. A non-fiction can also be called informational material. Stories and information that is factual, it may believe in these types of material. It has some practical utility. More specific example of this genre would be biographies of a biographic story. And the realistic fiction, the story usually presents a problem to be examined that could be from anybody's life. They may cover such topics as family situations, peer relationships, and cultural differences, and etc. Science fiction is a type of modern fantasy explores scientific facts and can boast with disproportion about current scientific trends and predictions. The author focuses on the adventure of exploring the unknown and the wonder of exploring new worlds and peoples. Fiction is partly or totally independently contradicts how authors can often choose to include factual information and make a story. It's often referred to as narrative prose, which tells a story different types include. Historical fiction, the story takes the reader back to a particular period where they learn about the life of a person on the road. The character may interact with actual historical characters, but usually the main character is based on a real person. History, there are different types of stories that usually crime happens, committed, and the legal ones try to figure out. There is a usually a great deal of suspense and mystery about.
Alright, we have some complaints about your works. We couldn't find your introduction part of your work. Introduction part of your work. So you consider that it's a research. It's not qualification research. Şuradaki vakti. İntroduction part çok normal. Content var, ama işe
Murat adama kurguluyorsan bu arada olay. Değil mi adamlar? Öteşle bir işte bak.
Ya şunu satıyorsunuz da koyabilirsin.
Aa.
Adresi bu hangi kadar verin. Nasıl bahane olsun koyabilirim. Kişi de yani. Конформа защита работает, да? Конформа защита. Значит, что конформа описана.
Evet. Algıda iki varyant var. Birisi iki alıp gelirsen, Çinli'ye gelirsen, ikincisi üç gün, beş gün için takıp gelirsen. Orada hazır baka koymayız. İkincisi makul mu, birincisi makul mu? İkincisini, onu ben işin birileri közü bu ikincisi. Ben azanda etmedim komisya, bunlar kat yerinde. Bunda yüzümüz kabul kılmamalar. Ya kıl.
Kadar şöyle
Bir koyu gerekiyor, başka bir kılmadı. O bak. Bize bir kafa mısın? Bize bir kafa mısın? Evet, siyon gibi oldu. Ay, kafa mısın? Kim adam nasıl oluyor?
So our next graduate from row 4 or 6, Madreva Shirma. Madreva Shirma. The name of your dissertation paper is Linguistic, Social and Cultural Effects of Modern American Comics. And the same of her scientific advisor is Docent, Dr. of Philosophy, Visima Shirma.
I'm going to present motivation work. The theme is linguistic, social, and cultural effects of modern American comics. My work about modern American comics and also effects in linguistic and cultural effects in modern American comics. Also, this work aims to explore this linguistic, social, and the cultural effects of modern American comics, shedding light on their influence on language use and cultural representation. Firstly, I'm going to tell about comics. What are comics? Comics have a major. Comics are more than just a form of entertainment. They reflect the values and the beliefs of our society and have the power to shape
their way to think and communicate with one another. And also, comics have emerged as a powerful medium of communication, influencing various aspects of contemporary life, and also investigating the impact can provide valuable insight into process of a linguistic phenomena. And also, modern American comics encompass diverse range of characters, each with their unique linguistic patterns, dialects, and speech communities. Uh, Also, comics examining the linguistic representation within comics sheds light on the portal of various linguistic identities and also including regional accents and ethnic dialects and individual speech patterns. Brief history of comics. Pop art comics emerged in 1950s and 1660s in converting bold colors and onomatopoeia and satire to comment on comment on society, and today comics are a significant part of adult culture. And also, by focusing on modern American comics, this study provides an up-to-date analysis of linguistic dynamics within the medium. It also takes into account the evolving social and cultural landscape, also including current trends, issues, and societal transformation, and explores how comics reflect and respond to the change through languages. And comics and the language. Speech bubbles and onomatopoeia in comics helps to the readers develop language and literacy skills. Also, comics reflect cultural values and norms. Comics and social issues. Comics reflect social issues such as gender, race, and the politics and the culture. They provide a platform for diverse voices and perspectives. Verses in comics. Comics reflect social issues such as gender, the effects of comics on global culture. Comics have been a sample of American popular culture for sex and influencing media, language, and even the way we think in communities. For example, it's one of the famous comic books and the characters, like Superman, the Iron Man superhero, created in 1938, and also Batman, the Dark Knight, who debuted in Detective Comics in 1939. Also Spider-Man, the web-sling hero from Marvel Comics, who appeared in 1969. And also psychological and educational benefits of comics is also comics can aid in language learning and literacy development, and increase empathy and cultural understanding. Also, the teaching of comics comics have a long way in terms of representations of, but this is still much work to be done, and embracing diversity can create a more inclusive and exciting future for industry.
Social and cultural policy. Okay, one of the important skills, especially linguistics. How do you see are the beneficial sides of teaching and comics? I mean, in teaching English at primary schools or at the higher educational schools,
You mean,
as it yes, as importance of teaching.
importance, question in primary school then is because with teachers, with comments, they will learn that not just with text, or also they will teach with pictures and they will teach grammatical and new words with gravity also and teaching their other cultures maybe also with the teach will be their hearers by the audiences and also they will
Okay. Thank you.
Let's graduate kullanılan vocabulary, the same of the dissertation paper is the structural, semantic, and the lingual-cultural regularities, methodological units expressing physical state of a person. And the scientific advisor is Docent Doktor Filosof Hacıgır İbrahim Hacımaratlı.
Well, good afternoon, dear teachers and students. I'm from my faculty, the student of the group of 406. And now I'm going to demonstrate my qualification paper and PPT, which is dedicated to the study of linguistic, semantic, lingual-cultural, and structural peculiarities of physiological units expressing physical state over person. So, to begin with, the actuality or the relevance of this study lies in the fact that the semantic, structural, and lingual cultural properties of physiological units expressing physical state and activity of a person in English have not been significantly studied yet in modern linguistics. So, to our mind, there are problems of phraseology and phraseological units in English need further investigation. So the usage of phraseological units is very important. So the aim or the purpose of this work is to study structural, semantic, and lingual-cultural properties of phraseological units expressing physical state of a person and activity of a person in the language and distinguish the cultural features that were taken under discussion. So the main tasks of this qualification paper are to define phraseology as a science or to show the semantic peculiarities of phraseological units and to give the works of well-known linguists in the science of phraseology, or to classify the phraseological units expressing physical state of a person from structural, semantic, and legal cultural point of view. And the introduction of this paper, qualification paper, deals with the problems of phraseology and phraseological units. And phraseology have always been and still are one of the most disputable and interesting and important matters of lexicology, as you know. And phraseological units are word groups that cannot be made in the process of speech. They exist in the language as a ready-made unit, and they are compiled in special dictionaries, the same as words phraseological units express a single notion.
Soru hocam. Sertifikatı var mı okulunuzda? Şimdi devam edin.
Sertifikat var mı?
Şey var mı? Sertifikat şey var mı?
Sertifikatla zatrudniony pan był?
Если у есть сертификат C1, не будет разрабатываться.
Нет. Имеет копия мix all the What is the novelty of the paper? Novelty.
Well, the novelty of this paper lies to the study of semantic and structural peculiarity of phraseological units and distinguish the cultural features.
Okay. Did you analyze literary texts, literature,
Yes.
literary books? What kind of books did you use?
Well, there were some English books, which is about the phraseology itself and phraseological units.
Samples. Where
Yeah.
did you take?
Yes, there were some examples. So here show
What kind of books, literary books did you use?
Oh, there are so many books that I visit, but one of them was about the British book, which is also about the phraseology and phraseological units.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
So,
Only.
yeah, yes. And also the Russian writer also, the scientist named yeah, yes. I just forgot. So we can-
So next we'll meet Sabin Mohammed Ali. The same of his dissertation paper is teaching vocabulary as one of the essential and fundamental components of communication. And his scientific advisor is Doctor of Philosophy Aziba bin Samin.
So, good afternoon, our teachers, our students. I am Sabin Mohammed Ali from Coral Seeds Group, and today I'm going to present my presentation and my qualification work about the importance of vocabulary in teaching English as EFL. First of all, I would mention that the government is biggest and creates great attention to the social sphere from the first day of its independence. Essential work carried on education. The education system aims at qualifying people and other resources of knowledge. The English language takes an important role to show our intellectual ability to the world. Objective of all our reforms in the field of economic policy is the renaissance will remain the prerogative of the state constitutional priority. The next thing I want to mention is that psychological and linguistic factors in determining the vocabulary teaching process. The lexical test-based approach is a method used in English learning teaching that focuses on the importance of vocabulary in specific language skills. It emphasizes the use of authentic and meaningful language in real life situations rather than relying solely on grammar rules or abstract exercises. The lexical or test-based approach is a method used in language learning by emphasizing vocabulary and authentic tests. However, it's important to consider individual learner needs and adapt the approach to specific contexts to ensure effective language and progress. We know that on average students add from 2,000 to 3,000 words each year. It means that day by day they can learn about 5-6 new words. However, it seems important to point out that almost all cases there are some differences in the number of words that an individual understands and uses. Even the terms uses and understands needs clarification. For example, the major way in which we use vocabulary is when we speak and write. The term explicit vocabulary is used to refer to both things. These are the vocabularies we use to express ourselves. Vocabulary knowledge can be gained from the one single encounter. The word, even if this encounter involves a lot of direct teaching efforts, include this comprehensible learning includes a large amount of familiar vocabulary that's found in appreciate listening exercises and text used for extensive reading. However, not every word in the language is equally useful, and teachers should make sure that materials should contain the high-frequency words that appear with read regularly in literature conversations and textbooks. Knowledge of high-frequency words make the text more comprehensible, and programs that devote too much time on low-frequency words may be holding their students back from understanding and producing English. According to nation learners, students should learn low-frequency words regularly after they know high-frequency words, and teachers shouldn't spend valuable class time on low-frequency words because there are too many of them, and time spent on them isn't repaid by opportunities to meet them and use them.
Thank you for the presentation. You have chosen very important and interesting theme. It's based on teaching vocabulary. I see in your work it's a tables, yes, and you used 1, 2, 3 tables, and where this statistic information came from.
Especially from the internet and the situation we can see at present.
But you see the experiment.
I went to the school number 27, and actually from my school time, I noticed that in schools we don't have any subject like vocabulary, and I think it's a big problem because our generations are learning English as a foreign language.
Okay, thank you. But taking into consideration, I mean, further works if you use any statistic information like this, you should, what you say, and give information, any notes.
Yeah, I got it. I'll next time I'll give a link.
Thank you.
So next we do it same of your dissertation paper is graphic organizers as an effective technique of visualizing language classes, and your scientific advisor is Doctor of Philosophy Tajiva Ali.
So we will give some questions connected to the proposed analysis. Please.
Okay. That analysis and the teaching of visualizing language. Okay, just your name?
Dida.
Ida. Okay, please just tell us on the how the actuality of your qualification.
The actuality of the work is to implement the graphic organizers in foreign language learning classes in order to make the skills like reading, writing, and other to make them more easy to comprehend for students. For those students who are learning English as a foreign language. And graphic organizers can be used at any age and at any stage of learning, from brainstorming to presenting research works, findings, because visualization to learn in daily used by anyone who is able to see and what he sees and he relates what he sees to the prior knowledge. And it helps to build and share this new knowledge with others.
Thank you. I have another question. So that can you let to see that? Thank you.
That's She has a certificate video, yeah?
Okay, so our next graduate, Monday Piazza High School, and same of the dissertation paper, ways of teaching English through stories and scientific libraries. Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Tajay Wali.
Good afternoon, I'm Ravi Hazar from 6. My approach to work field is ways of teaching English through stories. Language is an essential form of communication in our society, and because language is a complex instrument used to communicate and incredible number of frequencies. But for our purposes, here we can reduce the universal communication, support basic categories, information, direction, ceremony, and the emotion. The role of languages in society is very important. The society and language are connected with each other. Therefore, society cannot exist without language, and language cannot exist without society. Foreign languages give opportunities to people from different countries or cultures to speak in one language and share ideas. The main goals of this research is to familiarize younger teachers and learners with the effectiveness of using short stories in their instruction to raise the awareness of developing their listening, and also critical thinking, and to create understanding of how to make an improvement in the existing teaching situation. And stories offer a whole imaginary world which is created by language. Unique knowledge about stories to be able to bring this work into the classroom. In our country, at school, we don't even use this method because of lack of time. And but in some cases, teachers use these methods to develop their learning skills, including reading, writing, and listening. Because while we are reading this story, students read so, and besides, they can learn new vocabulary from these stories.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Türklerin eserleri kullanması.
I studied. So, your research group is based on ways of teaching English through story, yeah? Okay, use it, the data collections, and from this kind of part, I just want to ask one question. What is the reason for using a questionnaire?
Well, we asking some questions from students. They have to think and they create a new story according to their text. And also they should develop their critical thinking.
Okay, and in your work, teaching English stories just, or and even we can use our calligraphy stories. I mean, teaching English like calligraphy stories,
Yes, all kinds of
all kinds of stories. Yes. Okay, and what kind of stories that you used? I mean, calligraphy stories. Maybe it's within side. So.
There are a lot of stories like Kafka's and Alpha's results in Uzbek story. I'm using about it in my work about ancient Mongol stories.
Okay. Thank you.
So our next graduate Komala Firuza and the same of your dissertation paper, collaborative and competitive learning in the English classroom, and your scientific advisor, Doctor of Philosophy and Docent, Patricia Zimmerman.
So, good afternoon, international members. I'm Komala Firuza, and I'm going to present the graduation qualification grades on the topic collaborative and learning in the English classroom. So, what is education? Education is the process of facilitating learning of knowledge or skill, values, beliefs, habits. And it's purposeful and organized to impart knowledge and technical specifications, which can make measure contribution to the growth of economy and country's future prosperity. This paper analyzes the teacher's role and functions, which are essential in a classroom. Consequently, it's crucial to transmute the teacher's role in the classroom and create a collaborative classroom through teacher guidance, especially in our country. In turn, in a collaborative setting, there is no incentive to involve the board of the less dominant or less skilled members of the group. In the competitive condition, however, some combination of personal governance and individual level of competence will define the values of the process. And also marginalizing weaker and less skilled team members. So, the main aim of my work is to present why competitive and collaborative learning is critical, how to motivate teachers, students use competitive and collaborative learning approaches, how to reflect competitive and collaborative learning in the school daily practice. So, the object is about the process of teaching English to critical awareness at a new level, starting from kindergarten to higher educational institutions. And subject is the accurate use of competitive and collaborative activities in the real-life classroom.
Okay, so that's all. I'm going to ask one question from the practical part. And, what is the advantage and disadvantages of collaborative and competitive learning?
So,
The first of these advantages is team working. Through competitive and collaborative learning, you can improve your teamwork skills. Also, listening skills, communicative skills, and critical thinking. For example, they there will be also disadvantages because in a group, for example, in collaborative learning groups, they were maybe introvert personalities, which are usually considered to be not active, lazy maybe, or just not collaborating with team members. And also,
Okay, that's done.
so next graduate Baltaş Babacıman. The same of conversation based analysis of semantics of English language problem means based on phraseological unit. And scientific advisor is Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor from University of America. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My qualification work analysis of semantics of English language cover meanings-based phraseological units. Phraseological unit is considered the phasia of language and because the idiosyncrasy of the culture and way of life of the people is referred to phraseological units. Phraseological units have often phraseological units often have vivid national characteristics, but they are not understandable to a representative of another culture. Phraseology from Greek phrase and logos is a science that studies stable combination of both phraseological units. Alexander Vladimir Chikun identifies five types of stability of phraseological units. First, stability of use, structural and semantic stability, semantic stability, lexical stability, and last one, syntactic stability. The first type of structural consists in the fact that phraseology is a unit of language and even formed by the speaker in the flow of speech. The second structural and semantic stability of phraseology means that it's impossible to create similar phraseological unit model. And next, semantic invariance means the stability of meaning and the presence of a similar meaning in phraseological variance. And first, speaking about lexical ability, Korean means the etymology of comparison. For example, you can see in this picture, four courses, stop worrying, don't be nervous, and clear starts one of us in new languages.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, okay, let's move to the practical part because it's important. In this part, we use examples, some examples related to our topic. What we have used and the color, and the color expressing physiological units. Okay. I have two questions. The first question is, and we've just said about Kunim and classified the physiological unit into five forms. Yeah, and before Kunim and the one scientist and from Europe, and you know this person? It's considered among scientists the father of physiology. It's a chance about power growth, theory, physiology. Okay, the second question is, mostly, and where have you taken the examples from? Related to your research work. I mean, literatures. From what people. You understand the question?
Was a clear question for you.
Is it clear, my question? Use any examples here related to your and research work. And where have you taken examples from? From what literatures, maybe? Which writers or any dictionaries, maybe?
Salak, neden aldım? Ben okudum. Okay, what about the A method? Answers to question your view about the aim of his work to study what? Aim of work. Zoological units and other biological units and Kaçırmışlar. Kaçırmışlar.
Okay. That's all. Thank you. Berapa lama?
Awal berapa? Permasalahan syarat keseluruhan.
So good afternoon, dear students and teachers. Today's my qualification work is on teaching foreign language as development of different skills development. So as you know, there are many intensive methods and concepts of teaching foreign languages. Intensive teaching methods are designed not only in the shortest possible time to form a certain set of skills and abilities for the learner, but also to force the learners to overcome the barriers, the psychological barriers that inevitably arises when artificially forming secondary language competence. The actuality of the work is the process of formation and development of students' creative abilities in the process of teaching English. So, one of the most important signs of educational and creative activity is the appearance as a result of its implementation of mental diapasm as knowledge, skill, and creative abilities of the individual. So, the process of formation and creativity abilities occurs in activity. In the studies of Leonard Grigorevich Ryadkin, it substantialized that an important means of developing the creative abilities of students is their early inclusion in personally and socially significant creative activities. Therefore, in order to promote the development of student creativity, the teacher must create conditions for their own creative activities. And the effect of activity for the formation of students' creative abilities depends on the pedagogically correct organization, the use of objective conditions, and the internal capabilities of the student's personality. The concept of creativity is fundamental area of study in both psychological.
Шансы сколько?
That's all.
Ben sorulurken bölümünde
Please, what's the actuality of your research?
The actuality of the work is the process of formation and development of student creative abilities in the process of teaching English.
Thank you. Questions, please? You have
How shortly, please, would you please explain how we can develop students' creative skills?
So that it will be the lesson creative or joyful or interesting, the teacher must add to their lesson some kind of activities or games, or even the teacher may do their teaching process as non-traditional method. By the help of the games.
What kind of games?
For example,
Who is who?
for school, yes.
Who is who is alright to develop creative skills and learners?
Sorry?
Who is who? Find who is who. Do you know this game?
Who is who?
Ah,
O da bakma ya benim hastalarım soğuk olmaz.
It's,
En dahil olmasın. Yoksa resmi değil.
there are many kinds of games such guess my thinking, or that the teacher shows the word to the audience that one student staying in the blackboard should say some kind of questions. Maybe, for example, the word zebra, the students may or should ask questions like, is it an animal, or is it a domestic animal, or is it some kind of item, for example?
Peki. Oldu mu? Yıkmayın, yaşama. Sigaracım bir konum söylüyor.